Good evening. Welcome to Giants Roundup. And in a game where I think this game just perfectly fit, the score perfectly fit for the Giants today, and Dwight Clark has to be smiling from heaven. The Giants beat or shall I say, the Niners beat the Cardinals 10-3. And yeah, we'll talk about the death of Dwight Clark a little bit later on. But you can follow on Facebook, the Crude and Kite page on Facebook. Join, follow on Twitter. And of course, please be kind and hit that subscribe button. Really good win by the Giants tonight. We're also going to talk about the draft later, so that's another item of note since there's not a lot of MLB roundup tonight. But now the Giants are just 1.5 games back out of first place. Really good outing tonight. But it was not that great of an outing by the pitching. Derek Holland only goes 4, gives up 2, but he labored through this game. But Zach Godley was Giants were able to get to Zach Godley in the fourth inning, and it all worked out. And it started with an Arizona lead. Sterling Marte doubles to score Goldschmidt and Lamb to make it 2-0. Then the bats got going in the bottom of the fourth inning with Andrew McCutchen with a bye-bye baby to left field. It just gets over the fence. It makes it 2-1. Then after that, then the next person up to bat after that is Brandon Crawford. He hits one it into deep left center, a spot where you don't see too many home runs go. That ties up the game, and that ends up being Crawford's 7th home run of the year. And now Crawford has a batting average of 320. He goes 2 for 2 tonight, and they weren't done after that. And Alan Hansen makes Bruce Bochy look like a genius when he doubles home and plates a couple of runs to make it, and that ends up bringing home Hansen doubles the score panda 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 and Pence to make it 4-2. Then we had a wild pitch after that. Give me a second here. I'm going to be putting up a link tonight if you want to share tonight your thoughts on tonight's game or have any memories of Dwight Clark or thoughts on the draft. Certainly feel free to come on air tonight. This is certainly a night where we're going to let people come on air and here you go. Here's the link to the if you want to come be a co-host for the night. Click on the link there and we'll buzz you on in and share your thoughts about tonight's game, about the draft, or your memories on Dwight Clark. That's certainly one thing we can hope for. And let's get back to it. Then in the fifth inning, then further on in the fourth inning, Fernando Salas throws a wild pitch that scores Gorkis to make it 5-2, and they weren't done yet. We get to we get to the we get to a Posey double. Hansen scores, Panic scores, they all score. It makes it 7-2. And then in the fifth inning, Panda, 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 Panda. That's right. Panda with a home run to right over the wall. It makes it 8-2, and and they weren't done yet either. After that, we go to the eighth. Jake Lamb singles to left to score Murphy to make it 9-3. Oh, and then Sandoval singles to score Crawford to make it 9-2. Then the Lamb to 9-3, and then Nick Hundley hits a home run to left field, and that makes it your final score of 10-3 Giants. Really good game out of this, and Godley gets tagged for 7 earned runs. His ERA goes up to 5.12. Bullpen was excellent tonight. Reyes Maranta, 1 scoreless inning. Pierce Johnson got some work in, and probably what might be his last game as a Giant before he heads back. He's likely going to head back to the minors tomorrow with this certain pitcher that the has been known to be a killer to everybody. Some guy named Madison Bumgarner. I think he's supposed to be coming back tomorrow. I don't know, but I hear he's a really good pitcher and he can win. He's won 3 rings. Yeah, he's coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow, Mad Bum's coming back, and this is going to be excitement. When Ty Block pitches out of the pens, 1 scoreless inning there. Panda, 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 panda. Pablo Sandoval, 3 for 4 tonight. Buster Posey, 2 for 5. So we really have some. So it was a really good game by the Giants tonight, and Arizona held to 7 hits. But most importantly, the Giants are just 1.5 games back of Arizona. They are now in sole possession of third place. They are just half a game out of second place with Colorado losing. So it is a 4 horse race here. And even fifth place San Diego for just 4.5 games back in the NL West. It's going to be nip and tuck here as we get to and these divisional games are going to be meaning more than anything else this season. This is going to be some wild and fun excitement, and we are certainly getting Madison Bumgarner back at the right time. And also some other positive news. We're hearing Johnny Cueto might be nearing a rehab assignment. So that's another shot in the arm right there. If we can get Cueto back before July, that would really then the Giants maybe can stand pat at the deadline. That would not be such a bad thing. I think this could really be a year where the Giants can just sit and just let it ride. But the Giants did have their draft today, and they selected they drafted Joey Bart with the second pick of the draft. He is the catcher from Georgia Tech. He hit 359 with 16 home runs and 41 walks for the Yellow Jackets this year. He was the ACC Player of the Year, and he will report to Rookie League later this year. And they also picked up a pitcher in the second round by the name of Jelly. Sean Jelly is the second pick of the draft. He comes from the University of Kentucky, and he's got about the height of maybe the height of the big unit, Randy Johnson. He was the SEC Pitcher of the Year. He had a 3.44 ERA, striking out 91 in 99 innings. So this is certainly somebody to look at in the rookie leagues, as he will make his way to Arizona later this year to start low A baseball, and certainly one to watch here in the fall leagues. And he's got a 3.89 ERA, so we shall see how Jelly does. But this is certainly a pitching prospect the Giants definitely need, with the lack of real viable top of the line starters in the farm right now. So I'm really hoping Jelly could be that guy that could be the next Tim Lincecum, Randy Johnson, Matt Cain, or Madison Bumgarner. But we'll see how he works out in the rookie leagues later this year. And hopefully Joey Bart can be that heir apparent of Buster Posey. With Buster Posey being no spring chicken anymore, he's starting to get on the wrong side of 30. So who knows how many more good years we'll have Buster Posey in the squat. In the squat, that is. So there will be some. So we'll see how many more years Buster Posey can catch. And but this is definitely could be his heir apparent. But the question is going to be what's going to happen to Garcia, who's over in Double A right now, Ramos Garcia. Is he going to maybe go convert to a position player? Is he going to become a trade chip at the deadline? He's not had a great year in Richmond thus far. So maybe his stock has fell a bit. We'll see what happens with that, but certainly want something to watch. And certainly I'm excited to see what Joey Bart can do over there in the rookie leagues later this year. This will be certainly something they'll talk about on the Giants Outsiders tonight. That's something I usually join in after I'm done with this vodcast. So that's something certainly to watch on. I watch it on Periscope. You can watch it on Facebook Live, Periscope, and of course NBC Sports Bay Area. But now let's get on to some sad news today in the world of football. Certainly not Giants related, but this is still big time Bay Area related news. 49er legend Dwight Clark, very famous for the famous catch that got the Niners and San Francisco their first championship, has passed away from ALS. And he was battling ALS, amyotrophic amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, a progressive neurodegenerative disease, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. But since he was first experiencing symptoms in 2015, he was just having he was having a lot of difficulties with his mobility the last couple years. But it's certainly he's mainly the reason he started what would be an incredible dynasty for the 49ers, their 5 Super Bowl championships. if it wasn't for that catch, and it was especially at a time when things were not going well for the city of San Francisco after the suicides, and certainly that was a much needed Super Bowl championship to the 49ers. And he won 2 rings as a player and won 3 more in the front office with Carmen Policy. He did join Carmen Policy over in Cleveland with the expansion Browns. But certainly before the early '80s, though, but before that catch, before that miracle 1981 season, the 49ers were just awful before then. Before Joe Montana, it was Steve DeBoer and Steve DeBerg, excuse me, Steve DeBerg, and this was the 3rd year of Joe Walsh, and it was just the feeling after that catch was amazing. But it certainly Dwight Clark and Joe Montana were the main reasons why the 49ers won those 5 championships. And after that catch, and really, he is the heart of San Francisco. You'd see him at Giants games. And then for a while, he was doing 49ers post game on back when it was CSN Bay Area. He was just truly a good person, and he was just very good to the Bay Area community. And he will never be forgotten for his great deeds to the city of San Francisco, the great deeds for the 49ers, especially at a time when they needed something good in the city of San Francisco. This was, and certainly the way the Giants won this game tonight, they won this game for Dwight Clark. He is smiling from heaven tonight. But if Dwight Clark had never made that catch, we may have never seen the 5 championships that came after it, or the legends made out of Joe Montana and Jerry Rice, or Bill Walsh would have never been the immortal he had been. And it did change a city who was struggling from the Jim Jones mass suicides, the assassination of Harvey Milk and George Moscone at the time, and the Twinkie defense. And that Miracle 49ers team is what was needed at a time when San Francisco was falling on hard times. Back when San Francisco never experienced a championship. Then after that catch, it was amazing what the 49ers did after that. Then you had another Super Bowl. Steve Young came in, 2 more, and of course, 2 more rings in the late '80s. But and Eddie DeBartolo, if the catch never happened, who knows what could have happened? Maybe Bill Walsh would have been gone a long time ago. Eddie DeBartolo may not have been remembered as good of an owner as he was. Who knows what it was? But Dwight Clark is the heart of why the 40 what is what started the 49er dynasty, and he's not, at least he's not suffering anymore. And thank God, and thank goodness that that the alums came and took care of him and had the camp earlier this year. I think they knew his calling was coming, and I'm glad people like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice kept in touch with him, and Eddie DeBartolo, who just if it weren't for his sins, he'd still be the owner of this day. And granted, Jed York, he's made his mistakes as owner. But the last couple years, I really think he's manned up to his mistakes. And at least Jed York cares about the 49ers a lot more than his parents do. And I think I think what Jed York needs to do next year is to pay tribute to Dwight Clark by having his number on the field, maybe at least for opening day. I think that, I think Dwight Clark deserves it. And then certainly another guy who was fortunate to meet Dwight Clark, and he does his own vodcast for the San Jose Sharks, the Teal Town USA show. Eric Kura, he was lucky enough to meet a nice, down to earth Dwight Clark, and I bet for him that was something that was amazing for him. And when he's not rooting for his Sharks, he is a big time 49er faithful. And that's how I am too. When the Giants aren't playing, I'm still a 49er faithful. And and sometimes it's nice like these where all the Bay Area sports teams were all one big family. And we're all mourning the loss of a Bay Area legend. All right, let's do the MLB roundup for tonight. Not a lot of games tonight. We'll start off in Detroit, where the Yankees beat the Tigers 7-4. Your winning pitcher, Luis Severino. Your losing pitcher, Drew Verhagen. Severino strikes out 10 in 8 innings pitched. Verhagen 7 earned and 2/3 innings pitched. And in the second part of the doubleheader, the Tigers take game 2 4-2. Taking the win, Mike Fiers, your losing pitcher, Domingo German. Mark goes 2 for 3. Lenoise Martin goes 2 for 3 for the Tigers. For the Bombers, Miguel Andujar goes 2 for 3. And in the OC, the Angels beat the Royals 9-6. Your winning pitcher, Cam Bedrosian. Your losing pitcher, Tim Hill. Mike Trout goes 3 for 4. Justin Upton 3 for 4. Jeffrey Marte 4 for 4. Nick Torpeano goes 4 2/3, allows 5 earned. Danny Duffy 5 innings pitched, 4 earned. Kevin McCarthy 2 earned and 1 inning pitched. Not a good night for the Kansas City bullpen. And the only other game in progress tonight, The Padres beat the Braves 11-4. You're taking the win is Clayton Richard. You're losing pitcher Julio Teheran. 4 earned and 4 innings pitched. Rafi Lopez goes 3 for 4. And Luis Gohara, 6 earned and 2/3 of an inning pitched. And now, Sandy, the Friars are 28 and 34. And then tomorrow it will be Madison Bumgarner against. Run all your. Then tomorrow night it will be Madison Bumgarner against Patrick Corbin. It should be a very good pitching matchup. I expect we'll see if it's a sellout or not for Tuesday night. And then I think Pierce Johnson will likely be your roster casualty. And speaking of roster casualties, DJ Snelton was claimed by the Baltimore Orioles. So we'll see what the Giants get back. Maybe a bucket of baseballs for DJ Snelton. But this will conclude tonight's quickie show. And also welcome back Hunter Pence, his first night back. I think we'll see Mac Williamson tomorrow night. But yeah, thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm going to get to bed. You have a good night.